channel. Thank you, my current subscribers. Newcomers, go ahead and push that red subscribe button and join the family. Today, we are making some zucchini and gravy, but we're going to add some beef ribs to it. So this will be our rib zucchini and gravy today. And what we've done, we already cooked up the beef ribs. We boiled them and cooked them till they were nice and tender and cut them separately. And then we're going to add mushrooms. We're using a brown gravy. Get the less sodium one. That one has less sodium in it, so I like that because I'm not into the salt thing. 2 white onions, a red bell pepper, and a green bell pepper. And then we're using 2 packages of zucchini. You know, zucchini cooks down, but we want this to last for a while. And we are going to use the little slits, what I call slits of zucchini in the way we cut it up. So now all we're going to do is go ahead and get all our ingredients cut up. And we'll be right back. Okay, we're done cutting up the green bell peppers, red bell peppers, and the onions. And what we did is we sliced these onions so they'll come out in rings. And as I go, I'll be separating these. I like the little rings, okay? Next, we're going to be taking these mushrooms out, rinsing them, putting them in a container because they're already cut up in pieces. And then we're going to cut up our zucchini, and we're going to take all the rib meat off of the bone. We're not going to separate the fat. We're going to leave it because that's going to make it nice and good. Alrighty? So we're going to get to doing that. Just open up these cans of your mushrooms. Just open them enough to get the water out first of all. And then as you pour that water off of them, we'll put these in a bowl where we can then have those to add to the mixture. I don't see my colander, so I'll just put it in a regular bowl. Or actually, I'll put it on this plate. Okay. I'm just going to pour these mushrooms out of this can onto the plate. Okay. And we put these on a plate. See, those are already the size we want them to be, so we'll leave those there. Now, be mindful when you cut up your green peppers, save these and set these aside because we're going to use those seeds for seasoning. Okay? So now we're just going to take all the zucchini out. We're going to start washing it off so we can slice it up. Okay, we're almost done cutting up the zucchini. Now we use 9 medium to small zucchinis. And we cut them up on this thing to where they're like this. So, okay. We're going to cut up the rest of this. We'll be pretty much finished cutting up the vegetables. Okay, now be careful. Be mindful. This thing can cut you up, so be careful. Okay, now that's all your zucchini cut up. And we're going to we're just putting all this zucchini in this bowl. So you'll know if you got just about the right amount. Okay, because the zucchini does cook down. We're also going to see if we got an avocado to put in this. It'll make it a lot richer. Okay, now all we're going to do is we're going to take these ribs and we're going to take them off the bone. Just pull that meat right off the bone. Pull all the meat off the bone. You could use any meat, but I prefer the beef ribs. It's just something different flavor to it. It makes it really nice. Okay. And pull all that off the bones. Clear the meat off the bone. After we've taken all that meat off the bone, we're going to cut it up. Okay. And that is about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ribs. Okay. Now, if this is not enough meat for you, you can always add something else. Okay. And all I'm going to do is just gather up this meat. No uniformity to it at all. And I'm just cutting it up. Okay. Fat and all. Don't even pay attention to that. That will make it have that wonderful flavor. And then you can just take and break it apart with your hands the rest of the way. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and turn our skillet on. And this is one of the reasons why we're leaving that fat on the meat. We turn that skillet on, we're going to go ahead and put this meat in there. So because we're not adding any fat to it, at least not right now, we're going to see how much fat comes off of that meat before we add any other fat to it. And we're going to let that get hot. All right, we put the meat in. It doesn't look like it's going to be as much, so we're going to use some of these. You can get the brand Steakums or just any of these. Just make sure it's the all beef steaks, and they're real thin. 6 of these come in here, and we're going to use these for some more meat because it wasn't looking like it was going to be quite enough for all of the zucchini that we're using. So all you're going to do is just take these out. They're thin steaks, and you just break them up. We're going to put them over here. Here's the beef meat that we have in here. We're going to turn this down because we don't want this to cook too fast. And we did not have an avocado that was ready. So what we're going to do to compensate for that avocado is we're going to use another good oil, which is going to be the grapeseed oil. And we're going to use like maybe 1/4 of a cup. We want this to be nice and rich, and because that's a good oil for us, that won't be a bad thing, okay? So we're just going to turn that down. We're going to turn that all the way down so we can get all of this other meat in here. And like I said, you're just going to take it off of the packs. And you see this? All you got to do is just break it up. It'll break right up. Okay? And you're just going to break that up and put that in there. Okay? Okay. Go ahead and use that whole pack. And this will be something that'll last you for a couple of days. Oh, it's kind of cold on your hands. You've been breaking it up. It's kind of cold. Ooh. Okay. Just keep breaking that up. Putting that in there. A few more to go. One off. Okay, got 3 more left. Really easy to do, and here's the last one of it. Break all that up. Put that on in there. Let's get rid of this. And we're just going to take this, put this around in here so we can cook that meat with the rib meat that's already in there. Okay. Now, we are going to go ahead and reach over here and take some of these onions. And as you're putting them in here, you're just going to break those rings up, okay? Break all those rings up. Keep the little rings going. We're going to go ahead and add this onion so that flavoring can get in that meat. And just any of these that you see, just let the little ringlets break apart. Okay, now these seeds, remember we saved? We're going to rub all those seeds off into this mix. Okay. Yeah. That'll give that a nice flavor. Just all those little seeds going to be your flavoring. Green and the red seeds. Now, if you have issues with seeds, then you won't do this, okay? Yeah, because I know there's some health conditions that keep you from being able to eat seeds. Like irritable bowel syndrome or colitis and stuff like that. You wouldn't be able to eat seeds. Okay. So, I'm just going to move that around. Now, be mindful, we turn down the eye. Now we're going to turn that eye back up. Okay. Go ahead and turn it back up. Okay, we're going to put that top on it and let that get hot so we can cook that meat that's frozen. Alrighty. Okay, now that's getting hot. See that meat's browning. See it browning? Oh, it's smelling so good. Oh, yes. Look at that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm getting that meat to brown. At this point, the onions are turning colors. So we're going to go ahead and add our mushrooms. Okay, and that plate soaked up a lot of the juices off the mushroom because we really didn't. You know, we rinsed those mushrooms even though they came out of the can. You can use fresh ones, but I went on and opted to use the canned ones. They're good too. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and add some more of our vegetables here. Go ahead and put the green and red peppers in. All these. Kind of like my little shovel. Any pieces that are too big, you can go ahead and cut those up. Or leave them because it's okay if they're in big sizes, okay? Because we're not going to have to worry about them. They're going to get nice and tender. So the size will not be an issue. But if you want to cut yours up smaller, you can. I wanted them to be a little bit bigger so they would be more visible. You know, I like the presentation to be nice looking as well as taste good. So, we got that in there. We're going to let that cook some till they turn a little bit in color. And then we'll know they're nice and tender. And then we'll add our zucchini last. Okay? Alright. We've gotten those to get a little bit more tender. And we're just going to add a little bit of steak seasoning. I like using the Montreal one, but if you don't have it, it's okay. You're only going to use about a half a teaspoon or so. Like I said, everything's to flavor, but I don't want to take that salt up too much on it. And then we're going to use a little bit of cayenne pepper just to put a little hint of hot. So that's probably 1/4 of a teaspoon, but everything's to flavor. Now we're going to add our brown gravy packet. Now in this ground gravy packet, of course, it's telling you to add some water. Now you did get a little bit of water off of the meat that was frozen. I don't want too much water on it. So I will just use like, we'll say maybe a ½ cup. That's about it. And then if you find that you might need some more, you can always add some more. And we're going to go ahead and mix that up. Okay. If you need to get a smaller spoon to get that mixing a little better, you can. Okay. Seeing as we are going to add quite a bit of zucchini to this, I think I will put a little bit more water in here. Okay, because that zucchini will absorb the rest. So we'll take that up to maybe a cup. Or even a cup and a half. And then as we're doing this, we're just going to start adding in our zucchini. Okay. We'll fill it up to where you don't see it. Okay. Way up. You don't even see it. We're going to put that top on it. We're going to let that cook down. And then after that cooks down, we'll add some more. Okay. Now we've got our other pot over here on standby. We're just going to start just moving this around so you can see some of the meat filtering up. Just pushing this so this other is going down in there. Okay. Just lifting that up. Pushing that zucchini down to the bottom, okay? So all we're doing is just moving it to the bottom. Moving the meat up and around, moving the zucchini to the bottom. And it's almost like a little sideways motion we're doing, okay? And it just automatically start folding in. See that? Okay. See, it's coming around. Each time you're going to do that a couple times throughout this cooking, you're going to take 2 more big handfuls and put them in here, okay? As that zucchini cooks down, you're just going to fill it in, okay? That in. Now we have this other pot over here on standby just in case this gets too full, okay? So just take your time, let that cook down some more, and we'll come back to it. Okay. Yeah, it's moving along. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Let's keep on pushing it up. Yep. There we go. It's going in there. Yeah, I'm glad we added that other pack of meat. Yeah. But for those of you who are vegetarian, you can just add you a little bit of extra mushrooms if you like. Or some tofu would be good too. Okay. Now here's the last little bit. This zucchini. Okay. Let's see if we can fit the rest of this in here. Come on now, we can do it. All right. Yeah, and that'll last us just a little bit. All right. I'll put that top back on there, and this is the last round. All right, I think we're going to try and transfer this into this pan. We've already had it heating up so that once we transfer it, it'll continue to cook. So we're just going to take our time. We're going to add this to this other pan. Okay, it's deeper and we'll be able to stir it around more in this other pot. I forgot that the zucchini was also going to have some water come off of it. So we've opted to add another pack of the gravy seasoning. So this will get a little bit thicker. Now that is all up to you. You don't have to, but I think I'm going to. Because I want this to be a little bit thicker than watery. I want it to be more gravy than water. Okay, so we were successful in transferring that to this other pot. Set it aside. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the eye. So we did have success in transferring that. So we're going to go ahead and stir this around. Oh, that's so lovely, and it smells wonderful. Now, like I said, we're going to add another gravy packet to this because we want this to thicken up a little bit more. Now, if you don't have a gravy packet or whatever, you can just add some beef broth to this and then put like maybe a teaspoon or so of starch or flour in it, and that'll make you some good gravy too. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's lovely. Add that in there, and after you've added that in there and stirred that up real good, I'll put that top on this. Now, the seasonings on that spoon. Okay, we're going to put that top on this, and we're going to turn it down real low so that gravy will start thickening up. Okay, and this is done. Got my little bowl. I'm going to get a spoon that'll give you some of that juice off of that too. Okay, look at that. Oh, put some of that gravy over top of that. I'm going to try and get a little taste of this. Oh. Oh, and that little gravy that's on there. Try this out. See how you like it. Tell me what kind of meat you added to your meal, or if you left it vegetarian. This was really good. There's really no carbs in this either. So this is another good healthy meal that you can eat. For the little bit of fat that came off of the rib meat, you're still doing good. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.